Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is almost here, and with every day that passes, the game just keeps looking better and better. And it certainly seems like all of the hard work and dedication that the team over at Warhorse Studios has been putting into this game is truly going to pay off this February. So today we're going to dive into the world of Kingdom Come Deliverance and talk about the latest news and details and so much more. Guys, we have a lot to cover, so check the video chapters for easy viewing and let's get started. So for those of you that don't know, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is the upcoming game from Warhorse Studios. It's releasing on February 4th, 2025, which is a relatively new release date. It previously was February 11th, but they moved it up a week with the goal of not launching next to games like Assassin's Creed Shadows and the upcoming Civilization game, which is pretty nice. So now I don't have to pick and choose what game to play. I'm really looking forward to Civilization 7. That's going to be pretty exciting. And now we get to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 a week early. So for a brief overview, if you're watching this video and you don't know what Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going to be about, it's simply described as this. They said, experience the chaos, brutality, and intrigue of the realistic world of the late Middle Ages. Henry, a young man seeking justice for his murdered parents, embarks on an epic adventure where his conscience, morality, and integrity are put to the ultimate test. As blood feuds and political conspiracy unfolds, Henry's choices will shape his destiny. Fortune favors the brave, but every decision has a price. Which, that synopsis right there sounds amazing. If you haven't seen the story trailer, I recommend just going and watching it yourself. When this trailer dropped, I was immediately impressed. Like, the game just looks so good. And I'm talking everything from the game's graphics, just the overall tone of it. It's like they took everything from Kingdom Come 1 and then just gave every single system a facelift. And I mean that literally, because the facial animations and just overall motion capture work is 1,000 times better than the previous game. The epic set pieces, just this seems like it is the culmination of all of the hard work and everything that they learned about Kingdom Come 1 and applied it to Kingdom Come 2. But enough of me glazing all of the technical aspects and things that look really good. Let's now dive into some new details. Now, this is coming from IGN. They recently got a bunch of hands-on gameplay and exclusive content for the game, to which they said this in the article: Henry, the hero of the Kingdom Come Deliverance saga, will get the chance to reunite with a number of old friends from the first game, if you know where to find them, and one of them is a four-legged companion who's been given a bit of special buff for the sequel, and that is our very first horse, Pebbles, who has somehow managed to survive the turmoil of war brewing in Bohemia. And what's more, they said he's learned some new tricks. In Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, his stats were less than impressive, given that we got him pretty early on, but in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, he has a secret perk that will allow him to grow along with Henry. The more you ride him, the better his stats will get, so you don't have to say goodbye to him forever in favor of an impressive steed, which is an awesome feature to add to the game. For those of you that have played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, you know that there was a similar feature in that game as well. It had the bond feature where the more you rid him and you pet him, the better the bond with the horse would be. So moving right along, the article then said, folks in medieval Bohemia love their drink. After all, we didn't know much about water safety at the time, so alcohol tended to be safer. They then said that in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, booze can be both a blessing and a curse. They then quoted the lead designer that said this: basically, any alcohol will give you some positives when you are only slightly drunk, and there's a lot of perks that will even improve upon this. But be very careful, because if you overdo this, you will get really drunk and it'll give you a lot of negative stats. There's also a risk of addiction if you imbibe too often in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, with increasing stages of severity. And of course, you can drink so much you pass out. In most games, this wouldn't be much of an issue, but in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, NPCs who don't like you might take the opportunity to steal the clothes right off your back. They said that a situation can happen when you just fall unconscious because you're drunk, and when you wake up, you see somebody wearing your shoes or your hat. So be careful about it. Next up, they said in a game like Skyrim, you may be able to pack your coat pockets with fresh fruit and set off into the wilderness 4 days without worry, but in KCDII, it's a bit more unforgiving on how it simulates perishable foods, but it also provides you with historically accurate ways to solve this problem. So yes, items can now spoil in your inventory. They said that the longer something like bread or cabbage has been in your inventory, the more it will degrade or just spoil. For all my ARC homies, you know what that is. It's pretty self-explanatory, but they said some foods keep longer than others, and if you want to keep them longer, well, you're not exactly going to be able to just haul an ice chest around your back, but you can do what people in the Middle Ages did. They said that there's facilities that are available around many settlements for smoking and drying foods, which will extend their spoil time. And then they also said that this process also reduces their weight, so you can carry more food or just other inventory items. They said that smoking and drying foods extends their shelf life, and it will even work with herbs you use for alchemy. Freshly picked herbs will always make the strongest potions, but dried ones keep for a long time and will do in a pinch. They then said one of Henry's biggest character moments in the first KCD was learning how to read, which was so rare it was practically a superpower in the Middle Ages. And he can continue his journey in KCD2, but the reading skill has been replaced with scholarship. They said that gaining ranks in scholarship will unlock things like new dialogue options and even the ability to gain more experience in other skills. Bohemia is full of books, and collecting them will allow you to level up your scholarship. There are even specific places that are better for reading due to the atmosphere, which sounds like a pretty awesome time. Like, are you going to be a scholar, or are you just going to be a big dummy like me? The dev said that there are perks in drinking skill and scholarship skill that will unlock completely new dialogue options with various guards, and you can use these new dialogue options to get away from crime. And they're really fun, especially the one from drinking. Try those. It's really funny, and like drunkenly explaining why you didn't kill the chicken is hilarious, they said. The next detail that they went over in the IGN first, they said in the first game, it can be a bit of a pain to optimize your fit for every possible situation. It takes quite a while, even on an inventory screen, to squeeze out of your heavy plate armor and into something a bit snazzier or sneakier, but in KCD2 it made it a breeze. You'll be able to switch between 3 different outfits you can switch to seamlessly, which is a well-needed quality of life update, so shout out to them. The article then went on to say that while Henry's abilities and even attire can affect his chance of success in different social situations, like being well dressed, giving you more play with the nobles, and even being covered in blood to scare off the bandits easier, these buffs and debuffs don't only apply to you. What an NPC is wearing and how healthy they are affects their social stats in the same way. They explain that if you need to win a charisma challenge against an NPC of high social status and sniffing up your own wardrobe isn't an option, you could always come at the problem from the other direction and sabotage theirs. So the night before, you could steal their fancy clothes, said one of the devs, or if you want to intimidate them, it might be easier if you poison them a little bit the day before. Next up, in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it introduces battle cries and taunts, which you're actually able to influence an NPC's will to fight. Letting out a fearsome battle cry probably won't do much if you haven't even drawn blood yet, but if things are going your way, it might serve as a signal for the remaining opponents to take stock of the situation and decide if this is really worth it. And there's even a perk that will make your bellowing even more terrifying, they said, which all of these details sound absolutely amazing. Like, if that's what they're telling us now, imagine the stuff that they're not telling us is possible. Like, one of the beauties of Kingdom Come Deliverance games is just how much freedom you have and how little hand-holding the developers do. Like, yeah, there's some hand-holding at times, especially with combat, but outside of like short tutorials, the game just kind of lets you do your thing. It really reminds me of the games of old where they just send you off in this open sandbox and say, here it is, just go have fun, and if you break stuff, then just figure it out on the way. Yeah, so from everything that we've seen so far about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it is definitely one of my most anticipated games coming out next year. I look forward to seeing more gameplay, although I don't really want to know anything else about the story. I think we can all agree one story trailer was plenty enough, and now they just kind of have to let the devs continue to cook until February when it finally drops. Now, I've seen some concerns about the overall optimization and performance, but what I'll say is this right here. Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 was pretty solid in terms of optimization, so I really wouldn't worry about it too much. They actually gave us a full spec overview for PC, so I definitely recommend going over to check their specs out and compare it to yours. Make sure your system is good to go for once the game launches. Yeah, again, I'm not really too worried about the optimization. They've given us so much gameplay, and every single time we get new stuff, the game just looks even more impressive. Like, I've got this funny feeling that we could be starting off the year of 2025 with a game of the year contender in February, but only time will tell on whether or not the devs will be able to stick the landing or not. And if they do stick the landing, and of course GTA 6 doesn't come out next year, this is one that I think has a real potential to be at least a game of the year nominee next year, just based off of all of the videos and just stuff we've seen so far from Warhorse. Yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap it up with this video. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Do me a favor, like the video if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on if you have not already, especially if you want to stay up to date with all things gaming news. And until next time, this has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.